Well, the main vision of the hub is to take existing demonstrated scientific results for quantum key distribution and to turn those into working commercializable technology within the 5-year framework of the hub. So we've got three main directions where we're doing that, and the first one is we're looking at what we call short-range free space consumer quantum key distribution. And so the vision there is that one half of the key distribution system will be in a handheld device that will be owned by many people, and the other half, the receiver unit, will be rather more expensive and bulkier, and those will be owned by financial institutions or your employer or the government or whatever, and through that pair of devices you can share a key as a consumer with various service providers or institutions or whatever, and then those keys can provide a number of applications for consumers. So that's the first vision. The second vision we've got is to produce chip scale quantum key distribution devices. That's both transmitters and receivers, and so if we can do that, then every computer of the future could have a transmitter quantum key distribution device in it and talk through a kind of access network. Many computers could all talk into a bigger, larger network, and so we could offer much more widespread deployment of quantum key distribution systems than is currently available. The third thing that we're doing in the hub as part of this vision of pushing where we are now to fully commercialized capability is we're going to build a quantum network in the UK. So we're going to take existing fibre, so this isn't special fibre or anything like that. We're going to use existing fibre that is in various places in the UK to demonstrate quantum networking, both at a small scale, that's access, where many things can talk to one over short distance, at what we call the metro scale, which is around a city. So the cities that we're going to be doing that for are Bristol and Cambridge, so we have metro scale networks within those cities, and then we want to have long haul backbone communications that will actually run right across the UK and eventually link those two metro networks together. Our hub has 8 academic partners, but it has more industrial partners than that. So the way we put the hub consortium together was that we got the relevant academic partners in the UK who are the key players in quantum communications for the UK, but then we got industry in right at the very start. So we've got large-scale industry who are actually working with us in the technology development, and so in particular that's Toshiba Labs, British Telecom, and the National Physical Laboratory. But then we've got other companies involved as consultants and suppliers of kit. We've got other folk involved in the concept of developing standards and looking at reproducibility, because those are going to be very important in the future. Standards are going to be essential. So we've got the European Standards Agency involved there, so that we make sure that any technologies that are developed satisfy an appropriate set of standards. The other aspect to industrial engagement is the end users. So this is people who might in the future be using quantum communications technology as a service. So they don't care what the technology is, they just care that it provides guaranteed secure communications. And so in order to facilitate their engagement, what we're doing is putting in place this network. Once the network is in place, we will be able to showcase quantum secure communications applications across this network. We'll be able to, show those to users, but also users will be able to trial them and see what they think of them. And that way we certainly need to build markets, and so it's very important that we actually reach out to end users and let them sample what we've got in order to build future markets. I think within the 5 years we will have some commercial ready technologies, and we will have this demonstration of our quantum network in place. In order to progress from there, there's then got to be some uptake. So I think what we would be looking for, let's say, in the following 5-year program is that we might want some government showcasing and use of quantum communications in some particular applications, or we might want to do a a financial pilot where we demonstrate it over a small scale so that the financial industry can see what capabilities exist. I think that's got to be the next kind of step. We've got to start doing some kind of pilot events in order to get the technology taken up and appreciated a bit more. I would see the commercial applications coming first. If you look at the fibre links, then I think because the equipment will probably still be relatively expensive when it's there. In the fibre case, I would expect probably some high value transactions where security is very important to be the first take-up. On the other hand, if you look at the consumer end, then in principle that technology ought to be very cheap. So the potential for piloting it within a city or something and showing what it's capable of and then taking it up from there, I think would be the way forward. It's probably fair to say that prior to this government initiative, the UK has not had a great track record in bridging the gap from the outputs of scientific excellence all the way through to commercialisation, where venture capital money or big industry money will kick in a large way. So we've had a gap for a long time, and the last few governments have started to appreciate that, and I think pick particular areas where they think there is some support or some support should be put in for that. And so they've done it with other areas. They've now done it in a very significant way with quantum technologies. And so that injection of money, I think, was extremely welcome, because the UK has had a long tradition of very high quality scientific research, and so now we can start pulling some of that through all the way to technology. I think that it's certainly made an impact within Europe, the fact that the UK has taken this initiative and done this. And so I think there are certainly other countries now in the European Union who are taking a very hard look at what the UK is doing and contemplating doing a similar kind of action there, because I think there always has been this gap traditionally that needs filling between the outputs of scientific research and full commercialisation. And so I think funding is very crucial in that area. I think the UK has taken a really good step, and that's given us a lead, and I expect others will actually pick that up and follow.